En nuestro proyecto nos enfocamos en la discriminación en las escuelas en el condado de San Diego, California. La primera escuela estaba localizada en Oceanside, California. Aquí entrevistamos a un asistente de maestra que decidió permanecer confidencial, que trabaja en la escuela primaria Laurel Elementary.
Do you think that racial discrimination still occurs in the education system?
I don't think it really occurs now. I think as a society we're kind of more open to things. I don't know. We live in a well in a city that's more like dominated by Hispanics. So I don't really think that is seen here. Like everybody is pretty much equal. Like if testing puts students at a disadvantage or advantage, and I think it does put them at a disadvantage sometimes because they are testing kids on just standardized testing, but they sometimes by those scores they base them on race, and they pretty much just give the school like scores. They score the schools, and that's how they divide their funds, or they're sponsored because of high test scores. And I think that does put students at a disadvantage because, say, like for the school that I do, service learning, they might have lower test scores. Why? Because they don't come from a place where they speak English like fluently, like they're learning. So I mean, they should be funded a little bit more so they can have a little bit more learning aids, but they don't do that. They give money to the schools that are already doing good, you know what I mean? So it does give them at a disadvantage because it just kind of just throws them under the bus, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
También tuvimos la oportunidad de platicar con una coordinadora del programa Gear Up del Colegio de Palomar.
In my opinion, I do think that racial discrimination is still prevalent in public education because it's been reported, it's been researched, it's seen throughout the different teaching practices that different schools have, and also through funding and disparities that a lot of lower income schools face. And a lot of those lower income schools usually host a great deal of first generation students, a lot of immigrant students, as well as low income students. And that's also seen, typically those students more than likely are students of color. And those are also students who are labeled as English language learners. So currently right now at the high school that I'm working at, I noticed that I just found out that I really didn't know this, but if students who have not placed out of the CELT, that's students who have been categorized as non-native English speakers, they usually have to test out, and the way that they test out is through the CELT, which is the placement test. So if they don't test out by freshman year, not only do they have to test out, but they have to pass their ELD class and enter regular English classes. Those classes past freshman year, if they don't test out, those classes will not apply, will not give them the credit or the college readiness to meet the A through G requirements. So in a way, it's really affecting them to be able to reach that whole college goal, if that's something that they do have in mind and that they're working towards. because a lot of times they'll end up passing the classes, the ELD class. However, if they can't test out, then that just makes it more challenging for them to be able to be college ready and to have and meet the requirements that colleges are looking for, such as CSUs and UCs.
Hemos concluido que aunque la discriminación racial no existe directamente en las escuelas del condado de San Diego, sí hay obstáculos que el sistema escolar crea que bloquean el aprendizaje de los estudiantes y la posibilidad de superarse.